The warning came at 6:13 p.m. I was microwaving a frozen pizza, fighting with the sauce packet, when the emergency alert blasted through every speaker in the house, TV, phone, even the stupid smart fridge. The words were plain and loud. Emergency. Do not leave your house tonight. I just stood there in my socks, pizza sauce all over my hands, thinking maybe it was a test or some kind of glitch. Like those tornado warnings in middle school where half the class tried to sneak chips in the hallway, but the noise kept repeating. I wiped my hands on my jeans and peeked out the window. The street was empty, except for Mrs. Randall from next door. She was just standing on her porch, not moving, hugging her phone like she was waiting for it to do something besides buzz. And there was this military van down the block, olive green and no markings, just parked there. Engine running. I'd never seen one on our street before. There were guys in uniforms standing around it, but they weren't doing anything, just staring at houses, not talking. One of them noticed me watching and, swear to God, he just stared back like I was the weird one. My phone pinged with 3 emergency notifications at once. Same words, all caps, do not leave your house tonight. I started texting Dad, who was supposed to be working the night shift at the hospital, no answer. I tried Mom, but she was visiting my aunt in Arizona. Nothing. I called Erin, my little sister, who should have been at band practice. Voicemail, her voice way too cheerful for tonight. Right to SW. Rocco, our dog, kept whining at the back door. He's part lab, part whatever wandered into the backyard when he was a puppy, and he hates storms and sirens. I looked out back and noticed something on the sidewalk. Red streaks, bright and wet. It looked like blood, but no one else was outside. I locked the back door and put a chair under the handle. The news was just panic, all over the place. One anchor said it was a gas leak, another said it was a cyber attack. A few said nothing except shelter in place. Twitter was worse. Fake videos, people live streaming empty highways, one dude in Philly showing helicopters with searchlights. Then, right in the middle of all that, my cell service died. Just a red X in the corner. No Wi-Fi, nothing. I kept pacing, checking every window. Mrs. Randall's front door was wide open now. Her porch light was flickering, but she was gone. The soldiers, gone too. Down the street, somebody was moving weird between parked cars, sort of limping and dragging something behind them. For a second I thought about calling the cops, but my hands just wouldn't stop shaking. Instead, I texted my group chat. Do not go outside. For real. Something's wrong. Nobody responded. Not Marcus, not Olivia, not my cousin Danny, not even a lol you oak. The longer I waited, the less I trusted anything. The house started feeling smaller. Rocco paced circles, whining. I went up to Erin's room. Still a mess, her jacket on the bed, half-eaten granola bar in the sheets. I tried calling her again, but it went straight to voicemail. Her last text from 2 hours ago just said, "Don't wait up." My stomach dropped. What if she tried to come home? What if she was already outside? By now the sun was almost down. I blocked the doors with furniture, covered the front window with the couch cushions. I found Dad's old hunting knife in the garage, then grabbed the baseball bat from the laundry room. I wasn't trying to be a hero, I just wanted to feel like I could do something besides freak out. The only light was from the kitchen and the blue glow of the TV. I killed the lights and kept low, listening for footsteps, sirens, anything. The silence was almost a roar. Then, right before midnight, I heard a scream. Short, like someone slammed a car door on their own hand. And then it was quiet again. No dogs, no crickets, nothing. Just me, Rocco, and the kind of silence that means something out there is waiting for you to mess up. That's when I knew this wasn't just a weird night. Something was spreading, quiet, invisible, and close. I kept thinking about the message, "Do not leave your house tonight," and for the first time ever, I was ready to do exactly what I was told. I wish I could say I slept that night, but sleep is for people who aren't waiting for the end of the world to kick in their front door. I kept my phone close, hoping the signal would come back, but it just blinked no service, like it was mocking me. Rocco lay by the door, his ears up every time the house creaked. I sat with my back to the wall, gripping the bat so hard my hands hurt. For a while I watched the kitchen clock. Time didn't move, or maybe I didn't. At 2:03 a.m. the front porch creaked. I heard a voice, Aaron's voice, calling my name, soft and weirdly calm. "Kyle, are you awake? It's me." Every muscle in my body wanted to run to the door, but my brain screamed at me to wait. Her voice sounded wrong, like she was trying too hard to sound normal, like she was reading lines. Rocco whined and crawled under the table. I stayed crouched, listening. Her voice got closer, then farther, then closer again, like she was circling the house. "Kyle, let me in, please. It's cold." I peeked through the peephole. The porch was empty, but her voice was right by the door. That's when I saw the shadow. Someone standing behind the bushes, just out of the porch light. It wasn't Aaron. I know the way my sister stands, how she stomps her feet when she's annoyed. This shape didn't move. It just waited. Suddenly there was banging on the back door. 3, 4, 5 hits, like someone was trying to break it down but couldn't quite figure out how. The dog door rattled. I grabbed Rocco and pressed him close. He started to growl, deep and low, the way he does when strangers come around. I whispered, "Good boy," and just tried to breathe quietly. The banging stopped. Footsteps shuffled around the side of the house, then silence. The fridge's compressor kicked on and nearly gave me a heart attack. I thought about running upstairs, but the idea of leaving the first floor just felt wrong. Like the second I went up, something would come in behind me. The minutes crawled. I kept thinking about the news, the blood on the sidewalk, the military guys who'd just vanished. This wasn't a lockdown. It was a trap. Whatever was outside wanted us to come out. Or let them in. As dawn started to break, barely a line of gray through the curtains, I heard it again. A voice, closer, more desperate. "Kyle, please, I need you." I wanted to believe it was her, but something in my gut said it wasn't. I remembered how in every scary story the monster tries to sound like someone you trust. That was enough for me. I didn't move. I didn't answer. The sun rose and the voice faded. I sat there, Rocco glued to my side, and waited. My phone blinked awake for half a second, one bar, then gone. In that heartbeat, a text popped through from Marcus. "They're not human." That's all it said, no context, no follow-up. My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped the phone. I crawled to the window, moving the couch just enough to peek out. The street looked wrong. Cars were stopped at odd angles, doors open. A bike lay in the middle of the road, front wheels spinning slowly. I saw a man, at least, I think it was a man, walking up the sidewalk, clothes torn, head tilted at an angle that should have meant a broken neck. He shuffled past my driveway, dragging something behind him that made a wet, scraping sound. My stomach twisted. That's when I saw Mrs. Randall again. Or maybe it was just her body. She was half in, half out of her front door, not moving, not breathing. The red streaks on the sidewalk led right to her steps. For a second, her hand twitched, but she didn't get up. I realized I was crying, and I didn't even know when it started. My only plan now was to wait, reinforce everything, hope Erin was safe somewhere else, and pray I didn't have to see what happened to her or become it myself. Whatever this was, it wasn't about infection. It was about something else, something I couldn't understand. All I knew was the message, "Do not leave your house tonight." And for the first time, I was sure it wasn't a warning, it was a rule. Break it, and you're not you anymore. Rocco barely left my side all day. The sun came up, but it didn't feel like morning. I kept waiting for birds, leaf blowers, something normal. Instead, there was nothing. No one mowed a lawn, no garage doors opened. There was no traffic. Just the soft ticking of the kitchen clock and the distant sound of someone, maybe a few blocks away, screaming and then stopping, cut off too fast. I spent hours barricading everything twice over. I dragged the dresser from Dad's room and wedged it against the upstairs window. I taped towels along every crack in the door. I dumped cereal and pasta in a duffel bag just in case I needed to run. I thought about trying the car, but every time I peeked outside, I saw another shape on the street. Sometimes they walked, sometimes they just stood there, facing nothing, not even twitching. Once, I saw two of them slowly turn to look at each other, not moving again for minutes. It was like their batteries died mid-glitch. By late afternoon, the power flickered. Then it went out. The fridge sighed. The TV cut to black, and suddenly every noise in the house was twice as loud. Rocco pressed closer, whimpering. I tried to read a book, but every shadow made me think of Erin, or those voices outside using her voice. When the sun went down, things got worse. More shapes in the street. Something banged on the back fence, hard enough to make the garbage cans rattle. I nearly screamed. Rocco barked, sharp and furious, and the banging stopped. For a second, I thought I saw something pale move through the neighbor's yard. Too fast, then gone. That's when the text came through. "Help me, I'm trapped in Marcus's basement. Don't bring anyone. Don't trust anyone." It was from Erin's number, but the words felt off, cold, like a stranger was typing them. Still, it was enough. My heart almost broke through my ribs. I had to decide. I could stay, follow the rule, and hope Erin found her way home. Or I could risk it, try to get to Marcus's house, 3 blocks over, and see if she was really there. My head said no, but my heart, my stupid, hopeful heart, made me put on Dad's old boots and grab the baton knife. I told Rocco to stay. He growled and tried to follow. I locked him in the laundry room and whispered, "Be good. I'll come back." The street was wrong. Quiet but not empty. There were shapes in the yards, standing, sitting, kneeling, all watching the houses. None moved as I ran, low and fast from shadow to shadow. At Marcus's house, the front door was open. The air inside was hot and heavy, like someone left the oven on. I whispered Erin's name and heard nothing. I crept to the basement door. It was open, pitch black at the bottom. I called again. A voice answered. Not Erin's. Not exactly. It sounded like her, but it came from 2 places at once, like an echo bouncing between 2 wrong mouths. "Down here, Kyle. Help me." I nearly ran. Every nerve in my body screamed to leave, but I stepped down the stairs, gripping the bat, my foot finding each creak in the dark. Halfway down, I saw Marcus, or what was left of him, curled up on the landing. His eyes were wide and glassy, mouth moving but no sound. His phone was in his hand, screen flashing no service. Behind him, I saw a shape move. It looked like Erin, but taller, skin pulled too tight, head cocked at an impossible angle. She grinned at me, teeth too white in the dark. "It's safe, Kyle. Come here." That's when I realized it wasn't Erin. Not anymore. Maybe not for a long time. I backed up, tripping on the steps, nearly dropping the bat. The thing that wore her face started up the stairs, slow and steady, and behind it, something else crawled after her. Long arms, too many joints, the same smile. I turned and ran, slamming the basement door shut. Something pounded on the other side. I shoved a chair under the knob and sprinted for the street. The things outside started to turn, faces empty and twisted, drawn to the noise. I ducked behind a car, heart in my mouth, the bat slipping from my sweaty hands. Something grabbed my ankle, a cold, too thin hand, nails digging into my sock. I kicked hard, broke free, and ran until my lungs burned. I made it home, barely. Locked every door, piled everything I could find against it. Rocco barked and barked, but he was alive, and so was I. I spent the night with every light off, holding the bat, watching the shadows crawl around the windows. I didn't sleep. I didn't dare. At dawn, the street was empty again. I let Rocco out and just hugged him, both of us shaking. I wasn't the same. I couldn't be. Whatever was outside wasn't just dangerous, it was changing people, turning them into things that wore their faces but weren't them. The only rule that mattered was simple: do not leave your house tonight. But I'd already broken it, and nothing would ever be the same. I packed a bag, put on my shoes, and took one last look at the house where I grew up. The old world was gone. I was gone too. Whatever came next, at least I'd learned the rules the hard way.